And yeah, we are. We're back. The VAC is back. Nate, how are you?
I'm very well, Val. How are you?
Cool, man. Yeah, good. What's your phone number?
Why do you want my phone number?
I was just trying to figure out a question that I could throw you off with, like almost just immediately. Something that's so casual. Bring it up so casually. Give us your phone number. Then you spout your phone number out to the universe, and then you have to change your phone number probably by the morning. You know, with the popularity of this show.
Yeah, you're right.
You'd have to change your phone number immediately.
I could actually definitely give out my number, and I could almost guarantee I'd get 0 messages.
Oh, you get a couple.
I'll give you my burner phone.
That's a great idea. Text the show on. Give us your current number. We'll get you a new phone tomorrow.
Yeah, 1-800 Vacuous P.
Yeah, the VAC. We'll get a text line going. I think that would be quite fun. Let people know when we're recording the show, and then people can get involved live while we're recording.
Is there a possibility we could do it live?
Yeah, there's a possibility we could do it live. Yeah,
so
this
people
live.
Could sort of chat.
This live.
Yeah.
We're doing it. We're doing it right now.
Yeah, but could someone watch us live?
Yeah.
Would they see our real faces?
Nah, we could set it up.
Okay, just in case if anyone's confused.
Logistics, though.
This isn't my. What you're seeing now isn't my actual face.
No, that's true. And neither is this.
Because it could be confusing for some people.
Yeah, and especially if you're watching this in the future when these kind of avatars are just walking around like regular people.
Or I might be a robot.
We don't know.
I would be the dumbest robot going around. Hey, your vision on my end is doing that weird in-out thing.
Yeah, there's not much I can do about that.
Nothing to do about that? That's all right.
I can probably provide a bit more light, and then maybe that'll help.
It's a bit psychedelic. It's okay. Well, this week, I was a bit disappointed by this week. It really didn't live up to last week. We had the assassination attempt.
Well, that was 2 weeks ago.
Was that 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, dude. I made the same point at the start of last week's episode. I said that was a boring-ass week. All that happened was Joe B stepped down, and then this week...
Wait, was the cloud strike thing? Was that last week?
Yeah, you already did that last week. You brought that up.
Maybe that was last week, not the week before. Yeah, so this week. This week.
Bugger all.
Bugger all, just the Olympics.
Oh, the Olympics. Right, not bugger all then. We did have something in the calendar. Great.
Not much.
The Olympics started.
Yeah.
I have been giving a lot of shit recently and on this show and in my private life to the sport of breakdancing being involved in the Paris Olympics. It's the first time it's ever being held. The breaking, they're calling it breaking. That's the event. And I thought it'd just be shit. I thought it was just another event where judges decide, and it's just gymnastics 2.0 or something. I don't like it. I don't like the idea of judging a dance performance for a medal. Having said that, I watched my first qualifier. I'm all in. Oh, man, it's so good. It's so good because in my brain, and tell me where you would differ from this, they kind of just do a routine, a breakdancing routine. Yeah, they'll spin out on their head for a bit and they'll do the handsies on the groundsies and the legsies up in the airsies a few times, and you're meant to go, great, that's a 9.0 performance, right? That's what I was thinking the event would be. What do you think it is?
I guess it's a little bit like gymnastics. I don't understand gymnastics. But the exact same principles apply. You have judges. There's certain things you have to do and do not do. Like you have to do, like when you're on the vault, right? You know the thing that looks like a horse.
Yeah, isn't it called the horse?
I think it is. I think technically it's called the vault. Oh, no, that's when you jump on the horse.
I have no idea.
Know. There's certain things you have to do. Like there's parts where you have to rub your scrotum in and around the middle of it.
There's palm this area, touch this bit, grab these bits.
Yeah. And so you have to. There's certain things you have to do to show your technical capability,
your proficiency,
show you the package, the complete package.
What can you do gymnastically?
So I assume that breaking is the same thing,
That's what I thought.
Form.
That's exactly what I thought.
Is it? I haven't seen it.
No, it isn't. It's fucking straight up one-on-one dance battles, bro.
One-on-one.
And it's wicked. Like it's straight up like a dance fight. They come out, right? And I'm going to describe it as best I can because I know we're, for the most part, an audio podcast. But they come out and he's looking at the other guy and he's giving him the crazy eyes and he's giving him a bit of the shimmy. Oh. And then, boom, he starts doing the legs back and forth, little hop skips on the stop. on the spot, little hop steps.
Yeah.
And then boom, he just starts launching into this gnarly shit, bro, complete with, moves where they stop dead and do a bit of a pose, like the arms together folded or a
style
or a move, and then he'll pass it over just like in a rap battle.
Oh, so he points at him.
He'll point at him, and then he'll go do his jam. And I'm a complete convert. I think it's the most exciting sport of the Olympics right now.
Right. Yeah.
I think it could be the sport. I don't know what 3x3 basketball is going to look like, but I imagine that's pretty cool. So they were kind of like those moves, but a bit more ground involved. They're like the jiu-jitsu of dance, the break dancers. Would you agree with that? The jiu-jitsu of dance?
I'm not going to agree with it. I like it. I'm not going to agree with it because I just heard it. It's kind of like hurting my brain a little bit to understand.
Yeah.
But did they do anything original? This is my problem. In gymnastics, they all seem to be doing the same thing.
Well, you say that, but watch the gymnastics from, say, the 1952 Olympics or something. It's fucking rubbish. None of these pricks can even land a backflip. It's embarrassing. So to say there's no new moves is kind of like not fair, really, because there's probably a shitload of new moves that the gymnasts are getting involved in.
No, there are new moves, but they're all doing the same new moves.
They're all doing the same moves, yeah, sure.
The rate of change in gymnastics is crazy. So I've heard... I don't know if it was gymnastics, all these sports, they're really pushing the boundaries. Someone was telling me that, I can't remember what sport it was, but they said that in the 2020 Olympics, what someone did then that may win it wouldn't even get you a go. You wouldn't even make the Olympics with that this year. So it's only 4 years' time. And what someone did to win doesn't get you a look in.
A kick anymore. Yeah.
Doesn't even get you a kick.
Yeah, they kind of broke the game, I guess. I guess what had happened there is they broke the game. I was trying to like elongate what I was saying so that you'd catch it at the very end, and you didn't get it at all because you were taking off your jumper at the time. What I was saying is that they kind of broke the game.
Yeah.
It's like a speed run, right? In speed running culture, in video games, speed running, once someone finds a new exploit, everyone starts using that exploit, and then all of a sudden you shave. Everyone shaves 20 seconds off their best time. So you have these moments in time where, there are big jumps and it leaves behind a whole bunch of people who are only capable of that. Now, the breakdancing. You were saying there's no new moves. Now, I've watched a few breakdances in my time. I wouldn't call myself a breakdancing expert by any stretch of the imagination.
What are they doing these days?
But I was seeing some pretty cool shit, man. Yeah. Some movements that I've never seen. And remind me after we finish this, because I'm going to show you the final dance battle of the qualifiers after this. I don't want to talk about it too much. I want you to see some of this stuff because I guarantee you will be wowed by some of these breakdancing moves. So get on board. The breakdance, it's got to be about 10 times better than, I don't know, dressage or some shit.
Rowing.
We talked about it before, the sports that are still in the Olympics. Rowing's got a better place in the Olympics than trotting a little horse around.
Oh, maybe. I mean, rowing's pretty one-dimensional. What I liked about...
They're all pretty one-dimensional. Like archeries are one-dimensional. They're all one-dimensional. That's their whole thing. It's the sport dimension.
The dimension, yeah. You pick one dimension like breaststroke, and that's your dimension. You live in breaststroke your entire life.
Wouldn't you love to see someone just quickly come out in the freestyle and do some breaststroke? Wouldn't you just love to see that? Or some butterfly? Now that we know it's legal.
I want to see someone that's swimming through the water in a corkscrew motion.
And you break the wheel.
But going faster than everyone else.
Oh, yeah, he's crushing it. The corkscrew method is now the going thing going forward. If you can't corkscrew, you're not going to the Olympics. Get fucked, idiot. What, you've been practicing one thing your whole life? Well, that's no longer the thing anymore. We do something else now.
What I like about breaking, even though I haven't seen it yet, is it would be good for the crowd, right? Was the crowd right into it? Were they cheering?
I think so, yeah.
How do you win? So it's one-on-one. Is it just who gets the loudest cheer from the crowd? Isn't that how breakdancing works?
That will be never how it works. There are judges and...
Oh, boo.
Yeah, and I didn't enjoy the judging. So I don't know what they base it on, but surely like the demoralization of your if you demoralize your opponent with your superior breakdancing skills and callbacks and funky moves and little send-offs, then he's the winner, surely.
Well, surely it should be like a wet T-shirt competition, just whoever the crowd cheers for the
Well,
most.
the French
they
guy
win.
wins then.
Yeah. Home ground advantage. That's all right.
Yeah, we love a bit of that.
Do you find it funny how you watch sports that you were never interested in?
For the Olympics,
Yeah.
I'm ashamed to say it, that every time the Olympics rolls around, I tell myself I'm going to watch some events. I end up watching fuck all. And by the time I'm interested, it's over. I'm really keen to catch the weightlifting because I know that's towards the end. And I like watching the weightlifting because there's this elimination sort of element to it where someone's got to match you. It's kind of like the pole vault, which is fun as well.
An elimination element. They all have elimination elements.
Not the same way. Like in a race, you have the heats, sure, but in the race, it's 1 against 8 and you all go. This one's like literally lift the bar, stare at your opponent and let them know I can do 1.5 kilos more than that or whatever the fuck the increments are. I can do that.
They don't even stare at each other because they're all out in the back room.
No, they don't.
You
They
come
just
out and you
walk
present
off.
yourself to the crowd and everyone's cheering. And
Everyone goes wild. Yep.
Yeah.
You
You
gotta
know what's a
lift the
full
heavy
party?
thing.
Yeah, you got to lift the big bar above your head. What's a full party is the beach volleyball.
It would be. Probably one of the most watched sports on earth.
Really?
I would say so.
Really?
I would
Just
say so.
at the Olympics? I mean, I've never watched
I
beach
just mean in
volleyball in my
general.
life.
I just mean in general.
Do you know who's dominant? Sweden.
Okay.
Sweden, at least in the men's, they've got the number one combo.
What are you calling that, a bit of a cool runnings thing? Because where's their beaches and what's going on? Has
Well,
Sweden got nice beaches?
I didn't know Sweden even has a beach. Like, I know it's not landlocked or anything, but I just can't see Swedish people hanging out at the beach. Like, surely the Australians should be dominating.
I played a good 8 or 9
the
years.
beach sport.
We probably do. We're probably right up there. Sweden's probably overrepresented for their population and for their location. It's like Australia producing a good snowboarder and all the Swedish people going, where's this prick from? Australia? Yeah, right. Sure. Australia produces snowboarders. Yeah, sure. What? An Australian won the skating or something? Yeah, he did. I did ages ago. Yeah, so we do that. It does happen. I played about 8 years of indoor beach volleyball. Now, that's not beach volleyball because classically beaches are outside and this isn't. But that's where you would train if you were into beach volleyball and you were in Sweden. It's a bit cold out. Can't go to the beach. Beaches. I don't know what the beaches. What's the condition of Swedish beaches? Do we know?
Oh, probably rocks, I reckon.
Right.
Like most of Europe, just rubbish.
You've just lumped it all into one cat. It's all
it's
rocks.
all rocks. All that, thousands of kilometres of coastline, just rubbish.
Is it? Barren rocks.
It's probably all like fucked up from World War II as well. There's probably still
Is it?
Stuff was going on around there. Wasn't there?
I don't know.
Yeah,
but the beaches were affected. Okay, didn't know that.
And Norway's all fjords. I know Norway is not Sweden, but they're right next to each other, right?
I don't know, man. I'm one of those guys who, I don't want to lump a whole country into the George Lucas style of lumping things into one category of going, like when you think of somewhere like Nepal, you may picture the Mount Everest and the surrounding ranges, and that's it. But it'll have jungles, it'll have other places, doesn't have a beach.
It's
famously.
human nature to lunch. It's human nature to lump. That's what we do. We categorize things. We lump them in together. We lump them all in.
If a Swedish person was talking about Australia, what is the landscape?
So firstly, she'll be a babe.
Okay.
What's she talking about?
Australia.
Yeah, okay. What's she on about now? What's she talking to me? Are you telling me what she's telling me?
Well, I just said, but okay. So I'm saying like we've just lumped Sweden into a rocky category. It's rocks.
Oh yeah, we're
just red dirt?
No, beaches. We're beaches. We're waves.
Just beaches.
We're all surfing all the time.
Are we? Right. Yeah. Even the koalas surf down here. It's just a fact. By the way, the surfing is live from Chopu in French Polynesia, which is one of the most famous surf breaks in the world. Big barrels, right?
Wait, is this surfing at the Olympics?
Olympics.
Where's French Polynesia?
Tahiti. Tahiti is where it's being held. That's French Polynesia.
Yeah, right. Okay.
That's a French territory.
That's a French territory. And so where is Tahiti? Oh, so Tahiti's in the middle of the Pacific.
Yeah, it's just over that way. It's just over,
okay. So they're still
east.
counting that as, I mean, it is France, but I've just never seen an Olympic event held in such a geographically remote place.
Yeah, well, that's what
That's
they're
cool.
doing, and
That's
it
very
makes
cool.
perfect sense for the event being surfing. It'd be weird if they had the beach volleyball there. Actually, now that I think about it, no, it wouldn't. It'd be awesome there. No, so we've got France, French Polynesia hosting the surfing.
That's awesome. That would
and
be a
I
bit like
thought, go on.
Sorry, that'd be a bit like the UK. Let's say England hosting the Olympics. So when they had all their colonies, let's say it's before 2000, and they could have the beach volleyball in Hong Kong.
Yeah, and the other thing in Sydney.
Yeah.
But that was famously the reason why host nations actually move around these days is because of air travel, because of the ability for us to travel long distances. That enabled the Olympics to kind of move around. Anyway, so the surfing, right? I watched some of the surfing on the day before last, and the waves looked pretty terrible. The waves didn't look great. I'm talking about Chopu bad waves, so they're probably everyone's dream wave.
Yeah.
In any other circumstances.
Yeah.
But I saw a bit of it today, and it was barreling hard, man. It was awesome. It was just like a video game.
They were all happy about it.
I was smashing them.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting barrels. No one's doing any tricks on the wave. You know how you watch surfing on TV sometimes?
Yeah.
And the guys are going up and they're riding the top of the wave and they do a little kicky thing and they come back down and then they do another little swishy swashy because they're doing that because there's no barrel.
Yeah.
If there's a barrel,
they're carving up. They're bored.
Surfers can't not get in a barrel. That's their whole life. I've watched a lot of raw surfing footage recently.
That's a bit boring though, isn't it? That's a bit boring just living in the barrel, isn't it?
It depends on how good the barrel is.
Oh man,
but no, I'll say this. This is literally what I was going to say. I've seen the faces of men and women inside big surfing barrels.
Their faces have been revealed to you, yes.
I've seen them. I've seen the faces as they're in there, right?
Yeah, what were they doing?
Well, the faces revealed to me a lot of things. Number one, this could be their 10,000th barrel at Pipeline.
Yeah, yawn.
The look of elation on their face. It looks like they've literally been injected with the best drugs ever just at that moment in the wave, and it just hits them. Now, that's what all these pricks look like on these waves. They look like they're experiencing peak happiness on the reg.
Jaw dropped. Yeah.
I don't think a surfer can resist the barrel. No. I think it's just and judges love barrels. If you get a barrel long enough, you get a 10. That's how it works. Yeah. So the swishy swashies are for the days that it's not giving you those clean barrels, which is what Chopu gives, man. It's an awesome place.
Maybe I need to get in a barrel.
That's the thing, man. Have you ever been in a barrel before?
No, but I've done heroin.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm thinking they probably... No, I haven't.
I was going to say, if you were to pick between those two things, it would have been the barrel, because surely you've ducked your head in a tube before.
Yeah, when I'm body surfing, it's never been, or maybe bodyboarding, I've kind of half been in and about a barrel, but I've never been lodged deep in a barrel.
Have you ever been at a place where it's curling and you can just put your head in it? Like this. You just pop your head in it and have a look for a little while. Have you ever done that?
I've done that, yeah.
Just imagine being in that thing and it's about 5 times bigger.
Yeah, it'd be terrifying.
And it would be terrifying. That's why...
But to ride that thing...
I think that's it. I think that's I think the danger is part of the elation.
I think it's almost merging with nature. And there's this temporary... There's this little wormhole, if you like, on the ocean that is only very temporal. Comes about only in the best conditions. Everything has to be perfect. You have to be in the right time at the right place. No other fuckheads around. You jump on this thing and you get your fix. Yeah, and it's like a natural high, isn't it? In sort of from
the pure
what I'm
sense.
told.
Yeah, this is what it looks like. This is
There's
just what it looks like.
There's probably easier ways, but
absolutely. I'm not interested in that. I want to beat that door down. I want to have a look. Okay, so. The surfing's cool. The Olympics is happening. Did you catch any of the opening ceremony?
I saw some highlights.
Me too. Did you watch the highlights that the IOC put out? The one that was it went for about 30 minutes.
Yeah, I was flicking through it.
When it got to the formalities, just them chatting shit. You skip.
Oh, because it was in French for starters.
But did you catch a lot of the imagery and stuff going on?
I was impressed.
I was too with the overall perform thing. I loved the bridge. What were your
feelings when they lit it up? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, when it went the French flag, in colours.
Yep.
That was very cool. when they had all the teams arriving by boat down the Seine.
That was fresh.
That was pretty cool. Everyone's just going crazy. Every country had their own theme song. It was pissing down with rain what looks to be the entire day and night. Did you catch that?
I just saw little droplets.
It looked like it was drizzling.
Was it?
Maybe it was drizzling.
What I missed that I really wanted to say, I may have just flicked through it when I was scanning that video, but I hear that there was some French metal band that was just going off, just absolutely smashing it. And they did that beheading of Marie Antoinette. They reenacted it, and apparently it looked really cool with the building. All this like pink smoke came out of the windows and everything. And I only read about this, and it sounded mad, and I haven't been able to find it.
Is that Gojira? Are they the French band? Are they French?
That sounded about right. Gojira. Yeah.
Okay.
Here we go.
Gojira.
So this is just an ABC News article.
Yeah, go.
Says number 2. So this is just things, Paris Olympics opening ceremony quick hits. Lady Gaga, heavy metal beheadings, Celine Dion, and a queer polycule. I don't know what that is. But anyway, number 2 on this list, Gojira helps behead Marie Antoinette.
Okay.
It sounds cool. So it says, and given how badass their own history is, it's perhaps no surprise that an artistic recreation of the beheading of Marie Antoinette was accompanied by their metal band, Gojira. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Gojira.
Gojira, whose members stood on platforms on the walls of Sienne-adjacent buildings whilst playing electric guitar and drums.
What's the beheading of Marie Antoinette? What are we talking about there?
It's the monarchy, I think, going down.
The abolition of the monarchy, yeah. Okay, so you watched the highlights. You would have seen a bit of an Assassin's Creed-like character cruising around with a torch.
Yeah. So did they reveal who that guy is in the end, or
the guy running around doing all the parkour?
Yeah, parkour. Yeah.
Okay. No. Or are you talking about who it represents?
Okay, that would be good. Yeah, who's it represent?
I've heard that it's meant to represent Joan of Arc. Now, a lot of Joan of Arc depictions have her riding a white horse. There was a cool bit where he was riding, or someone was riding a white horse, which was actually done by like a submersible. It looked like a submarine or a boat that only skims on the top of the water, and it had a horse on top of it, and the horse moved its leg. That looked really cool. And then they had the horse arriving, and
it was like a Tron. It was like a Tron horse, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was cool. It looked very cool, and it was sort of dashing down the sign.
Yeah,
very cool. Then Assassin's Creed guy came out of the floor with a torch, and he looked angry. He had a mask on. I'm just guessing his
body language.
Body language. Yep. I saw him walk down a spot and then set something on fire, which caused the whole building to look like it had caught fire.
I was a bit worried.
That was really it's just really fun effects.
It looks sick. Yes,
it looked really cool because it kept building. Like it moved around, then the fire got really big, and you just thought, okay, what's this? Is this the burning of the of the monarchy? Are we witnessing them recreate their history? They're pretty
forthright.
They're pretty upset about it still. The monarchy. Also, we saw a chick, not sure who it was, could have been someone very famous, singing John Lennon's Imagine with a pianist with a burning piano down the side.
Yeah.
So there was a bit of that, a bit of Imagine There's No Heaven, blah, blah, blah.
Then there was a psychedelic light show from the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, that was cool. That was full Daft Punk.
Yeah.
They went full Daft Punk on the Eiffel Tower. Very cool.
That looked pretty good from the angle I was seeing it from anyway, which would have been the optimal angle. I wonder what it looked like for other people.
It would have looked wicked down there. It would have looked wicked. Okay, the other thing that was, the Christians got bashed around a bit because apparently there was a recreation of the Last Supper done by people of the reverse gender.
Was that a recreation of the Last Supper though?
It looks I think that's what they were going for. It's fine.
I saw a photo of it. It looks really bizarre. Apparently that drew a lot of controversy because there was a young child involved with it or something.
I didn't read that, but I did read stuff about it. Yeah. Look, I didn't read too much about it.
Oh, I'm not worried about it, but I
No,
just
I'm
remember
not too worried. Yeah. So there was that. What else happened in the opening ceremony?
This is how ABC News describe it. We watched a glittery blue man emerge from underneath a silver cloche, reclined on a bed of flowers and fruits, apples and vines draped across his delicate parts, while he sang some sensual French song like a sexy cabaret version of Genie from the Disney movie Aladdin.
Yep, I'm with it. Got it in my head because I didn't see this. This wasn't in the highlights. This wasn't in the highlights package that I saw. No, it wasn't in there. It wasn't in there. Probably because it drew controversy. They like pull it from the highlights video. It's now no longer a highlight, but now it's become a highlight.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was apparently quite a long opening ceremony. So over the course of 5 hours, they had a lot of highlights to get through, and the Genie character didn't make their highlights.
Yeah, okay.
Didn't make the cut.
But what's the Genie character got to do with the rest of the thing?
Don't know. I mean, you said it was the Last Supper recreation.
Yeah, no, that was not that bit.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
What's with the mask character giving the torch to Rafael Nadal?
Right, and when it cut to him on the boat, every time it cut to him, it looked like he was saying, "Bloody hell, it's pretty wet tonight." And it cuts to him again, and he's just going, "Oh man, it sucks
So
out
wet,
here.
yeah.
Sucks out here." Like instead of because every other person where the camera cuts to them, they're so pumped, they're so happy. There's this overall joy. They handed like a torch to this really old bloke in a wheelchair who held it for a little bit.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
he's sitting there in his wheelchair in the rain, and you can just tell he's feeling this moment, right? Then you got Nadal on the boat. You'd be like, man, next time I'm not going by boat. Next time, fuck off with the boat shit. I'll book a car or something. I'm not doing this. He looked very disinterested with.
Okay.
Let him know he's about to be on camera so he can be like, yay, fucking sport and shit. Love it.
Do you know who the old man in the wheelchair was?
No, I only knew him as old man in wheelchair.
I think I read he was a French athlete from the last time the Olympics were held in France in the 1940s or 50s or something like that.
You said was. Has he died already?
The last time the Olympics were held.
He said he was an athlete. He said he wasn't.
Well, he's not an athlete anymore. He's in a wheelchair.
No. Oh, right.
I mean, you could be a wheelchair athlete, but he didn't even move anywhere. Like he didn't show me. He barely showed me signs of life.
Yeah. Then he handed the torch off to someone else, and then they went and lit the big boy, which was attached to a hot air balloon. Which, when you watch it in the first few moments, it doesn't look like it's taking off properly. And then I think someone's underneath it, probably one of like a technician is underneath it, and they're just going, cut the fucking thing, cut the fucking thing, cut the fucking ropes. Like that's what's happening behind the scenes, people. Whenever you see a live event, there are people behind the scenes going, cut the fucking rope. Probably.
I'm not sure about this because the last time the Olympics were in France was in 1924.
So he would have to be like 124 to be of age.
He could be 100. He could have been 24 at the Olympics.
100.
Oh, no.
No, he couldn't be.
No, he couldn't be.
He'd have to be 120 years old.
I'll have to fact check that.
Either way, he's a national hero.
Who was the old bloke at the Paris opening ceremony? Do you reckon this will give it to me?
I'm just saying, it was a national tragedy.
What was?
When he died.
Who?
The old bloke in the wheelchair.
Is he gone?
No. I'm just saying when he does.
Oh, it will be.
It'll be a tragedy.
Yeah. I hope he's not dead. I hope he's alive. We need some controversy.
We do?
At the Olympics. Well, I think one of the best thing to happen in the Athens Olympics was when that Australian rower gave up before the end.
Is that nice, Robbins. Is it?
Well, it got me into rowing. It's got me it's the only rower I know.
And that's all you know them for?
Yeah, I don't know any rowers.
But that's all you know them for.
Sally
what did they
Robbins.
do? Give it up. Give some more context on that.
Oh, so it was, I don't know, let's say it's 1,500 metre row. With 400 metres to go, she just laid back and stopped rowing.
Really?
When they were fifth. They were close to getting a bronze medal.
Wow. And what was the why? What was the why?
even John Howard made a comment about it because it was pretty controversial. She just got tired. She got exhausted. But you can't do that in a team sport, obviously. I'm not sure. So Sally Robbins, she was born in Perth, actually. She went to Melville Senior High School.
Great.
So my dad went there as well.
Well, there you go.
She was involved in an infamous incident in the 2004 Olympics. Team was third through the first 1,000 metres but had dropped to fifth position with 500 metres remaining, 3 seconds behind the Romanian crew in first position. So they're 3 seconds away from
They're 3
a gold
seconds
medal.
from golds, yeah.
During the final 400 metres, Robbins, who was physically exhausted, dropped her oar, allowing it to drag in the water, gave up and lay back on teammate Julia Wilson's lap. Australia consequently finished last, 10 seconds behind the crew in fifth place.
Ouch. It's pretty rough, though. You train so much to get to the Olympics, and then you're just like,
I know.
Was it a protest? It wasn't a protest thing.
No, it wasn't.
What did Johnny Howard have to say about it?
He said, I'm not taking sides, but it's always regrettable. It's tough and there's a lot of pressure. It's always a good idea to bind together. But look, I wasn't there and I can't understand the passion, the emotion and the effort that goes into these things and the sense of disappointment people feel.
You know what I learned? In the 1952 Melbourne Olympics, there was an Australian bloke who said that at the end, at the closing ceremonies, the teams shouldn't come out individually. We should come out as one.
Yeah, that's
and
great.
Ever since then, that's been the Olympic tradition. They gave this guy a bronze medal for just coming up with this idea.
An honorary bronze
He's
medal.
a bronze medallion.
Why don't they give him a gold?
I don't know.
It's such a good
maybe
idea.
Maybe they ran out of gold ones, or
Yeah,
maybe
that's
the
just
gold
like
ones are
a
reserved
spare one.
Maybe gold's like reserved for really, really good ideas.
That's embarrassing to give someone. That's actually
I'm
humiliating.
sure someone from the
Give them a
finance
bronze
department
medal.
got a gold medal. You know what I mean? But old mate who came up with this unifying idea, bronze.
And they probably give gold medals to
It's a
the
bronze
organisers.
idea. Let's be honest. It's a bronze idea. You know?
Maybe we can rank our ideas. But I mean, bronze is still, you beat everyone in the world but two people. Bronze is still pretty good.
No, not according to Jerry Seinfeld. He says he'd rather come in last than win the bronze medal. And he explains it by saying, because if you win the gold, that's good. If you win the he hates the silver medal. Because he goes, the bronze, you can say, well, at least I got something. But the silver medal is like, congratulations, you almost won. Of all the losers, you're the number one of that group.
Yeah.
You're the number one loser.
Yeah, and bronze, you managed to make it onto the podium.
Yeah. Australia won a gold medal in the rowing, the downhill, whatever they call it, the slalom one, where they've got to go down the rapids. And there was the moment where she set her time already. She's sitting in the winner's area where you sit until you're knocked off that spot, because you're a podium placed at the moment. You're sort of just chilling.
Yeah.
And then there's the moment where it's confirmed that she's got the gold, and you see it. You can see the
elation,
the holy shit moment of I just won a gold medal. It's pretty wild.
And it was an Australian?
Yeah.
Who's
it's
this
her
Olympic?
third Olympics, yeah.
Oh, okay. Any other victories in there for this?
I actually don't know, man. From her? From Jessica Fox? From her or from other people?
Her.
Yeah, I think she has won medals before. She's the number one ranked canoeist in the world.
Okay. Australia come out of the blocks. Australia come out of the blocks at the Olympics so hard. I love it.
Swimming is early.
Yeah,
Swimming events are early. Makes us look really good. I think we're like second or third on the medal tally at the moment. That'll probably drop to about seventh by the end of the whole thing.
Still pretty good though.
That's really good. We're well overrepresented.
Hey, with the Sally Robbins thing, the saddest thing about it is she's done it before.
How do you be at the top when you've had that before?
I'm trying to find the quote, but one of her teammates says that they're worried about this.
Wow,
they're actually really worried about it. They're like, yeah, because
that's pretty damning.
Yeah, it's not
she's
the
like
first.
the wild card, right? She's like the wild card. 10% of the time, completely botches it, but 90% of the time, she's your workhorse. She's the number one person
she must
you
be
want on that
excellent.
team.
She must be.
You
good.
must be so good. You just, you know.
I don't know if it's a mental thing or if she
be.
suffers like asthma or something.
Something's wrong. Yeah.
Her teammate said this was not – this is Wikipedia.
Could be anything, man. We're talking about physical stuff, but it could literally be anything.
Says this was not the first time that Robbins had been involved in such an incident. In the women's quad scull at the 2002 World Rowing Championships
I think you have to drink a whole bunch before you get in the canoe for the scull version of canoeing. Yeah.
Robbins had also dropped her oar, costing Australia certain victory. 2000 Summer Olympics silver medalist Rachel Taylor was quoted as saying, Australia was blitzing the race, leading the entire field all the way. It was about as sure a thing as you could get to having the world title in the bag when with approximately 400
that's a lot of
meters,
sure things in there when you say it's a sure thing that it was in the bag. That's like a doubling down. It's irrelevant, really.
It was about as sure a thing as you could get to having the world title in the bag.
In the bag. Yeah, cool.
When, with approximately 400 metres to go, Sally Robbins stopped rowing. The Australian crew dropped back and finished in 4th position. That's even worse than 3rd.
No medals. No nothing.
Sally's 3 teammates were understandably shocked, devastated, and inconsolable, not at all dissimilar to the sickening reenactment I witnessed on Sunday.
Wow.
That's a quote from...
Sickening.
Oh.
She's got to be one of the best rowers in the world, though. She's got to be. Otherwise, how does she get a kick?
Yeah, she's not bad. She's not bad. Who's this Olympic mascot?
What, the red things?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's what I want to know.
I don't know.
So it looks like a Dorito, a chili Dorito.
No, it's meant to represent the sort of, it's a type of cap, a hat. A very French hat.
It can't be. It has to be a commercial enterprise. It's probably a croissant they're trying to sell.
Well, I did watch a very, very shameless Gwen Stefani featured song with some guy called Hello World, which is meant to be the theme song of the Olympics. Holy shit, man. They're literally standing on a Coke stage. Like it's a Coca-Cola stage. Anyway.
Sorry, is this guy's name Hello World?
No. The song is called Hello World, and Gwen Stefani is the featured artist. I don't know who the other bloke is because I haven't really kept abreast to music in the past
must be
little while.
Mr. World, obviously.
And they mentioned Lady Gaga performing at the opening ceremony as well. Did you watch that in the highlights when they did the reveal thing where they had her behind the pink feathers and they were waving the pink feathers and you're like, who the fuck is it? Who the fuck is it? It's a very musical thing. And then she comes out of it and it's her and she speaks French. I don't know what she says.
Sings French. She did a whole set in French.
Yeah, so did Celine Dion. It was amazing. It was wild, her doing that performance. That was pretty wild. I'm not a Celine Dion fan by any stretch, but I did think I was going to see some more French artists, but I ended up just seeing a bunch of English-speaking people speak French, which I don't know how that would have gone down with the French. But no, I want to know what she said when she came out because it was hilarious.
Bonjour.
Something like that. It was obviously not that, but yeah, I'm going to have a think. I'll get back to you on that.
I figured out who this old guy is.
Oh, great.
His name's Coste.
Oh,
or Coste.
I know Coste.
Coste with an E.
Oh, no, I don't know him.
He was a cycling champion in 1984. Yep. He was born the last time Paris hosted the Games 100 years ago.
He was born the last time. Okie dokie.
His name's Charles Coste. He's the oldest living French Olympic champion.
He's what? The oldest?
Because he won in 1948. So he's the oldest living French Olympic champion. So he's the oldest dude in France that has won a gold medal.
Yeah. Is that really what you want? I don't think that's a title you want.
Man, they're probably about to vote him in. If he was in America, they would be running him for president. They'll be like, mate, you're good enough. He would be telling everyone about his cycling speeds in 1948, a bit like Biden's golf handicap.
And Trump's golf skills as well. He loves to go on about them. So she says, bonsoir, bienvenue, Paris, or something. And then she launches into this Paris musical number and does a little run up the stairs. It's hilarious. I love a good musical number. So that was a thing.
But she didn't even sing My Heart Will Go On, did she?
That's Celine Dion. That was Gaga. No,
Oh.
she sang some French song and it was gorgeous. And I think she was standing on the Eiffel Tower.
I was thinking about Celine.
No, I'm talking about Gaga.
Gaga. Okay, I saw.
It doesn't matter. That was pretty quick in the highlights. I don't really know what else happened there. She was just hanging out in some steps and having a jig.
All I know is she is no Nikki Webster.
Right.
I mean, did she fly through the air with a surfboard? I don't think so.
Did Nikki Webster do that?
Yeah. Did she sing Strawberry Kisses? No.
That's true. I don't think Celine Dion or Lady Gaga sang Strawberry Kisses.
It would be really weird if they did. Just a throwback.
Yeah. Well, it's not really a throwback for Celine Dion. A throwback for Celine Dion would be, something from the fucking 50s at this point.
It would be a throwback for me.
I've been missing your strawberry kisses. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. I think that's the song.
Remix. Yeah, that's bringing some things back.
Mm-hmm.
Did you check out the lifeguard at the Olympic swimming pool? Did you ever catch a glimpse of them? Yeah.
No.
For legal reasons, you still have to have a lifeguard.
Okay.
It's hilarious.
So you've got lifeguards with the best swimmers in the world. Who are the lifeguards? If they're not ex-Olympians or better, I don't want them out there. They're not capable. A bit like the Secret Service. If you can't do the job, which would be save a drowning athlete who's an Olympian.
No, they were the one I saw
gig.
looked maybe 18 years old.
Is it just a bit of a show?
Well, it's just
they have to.
I think they at the pool, their lifeguards employed by the pool, and I think you won the lottery or whatever, and you get to be the person on duty, or maybe no one else wanted to do it. And they're like, mate,
yeah, I think it's a bit like being a ball boy, because actually being a ball boy is more involved because you actually have to do something. You have to go and get the ball.
If you play tennis, you want to be a ball boy.
I wouldn't want to be a ball person.
Yeah,
they're
but
not called ball boys anymore because
there
there is all kinds of people who do balls.
So they're ball people.
Collecting. Well, they're not ball boys, are they? If there's a girl doing it,
are they called ball people?
Well, they're called ball something.
Ballers.
It wouldn't be ball boy anymore. I think we're well past that.
Do you know what's weird is
there's probably more girls that do it now than guys.
I call girls guys now.
That's not a new thing. That's an Australian thing. It's quite old. Some people don't mind it. Other people do mind it.
I don't know what I'm supposed to call people anymore. I get weird.
No, I've been calling girls guys for ages.
To call anyone a girl now.
Yeah,
so it'd be too. It's weird. So I won't.
You wouldn't say ladies either.
No,
that's
so
terrible.
I'm like, hey guys, how you going? I'm like, wait.
I would use guys in a mixed gendered setting of say 4 people, right? So there's 4 people, 2 guys, 2 girls, and I'd quite happily, I don't know if they're happy about it, but I'd quite happily say, see you later, guys.
Yeah.
And that means everybody.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
I'll start calling. I'm just going to call everyone ball boys and ball girls from now on. That's it.
Okay. As in, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, and if there's 2, one of each gender, see you later, ball boy. Bye, ball girl.
Yeah, okay. You're overcomplicating it a little bit. You didn't want to call people girls anymore, but you're calling them ball girls and boys now. So you kind of haven't gotten. You've fixed a problem. You've created a couple of other ones.
And what's the go with Simone Biles as well?
Oh man, tell me about it. I don't know who you're talking about.
You're not getting. I get weird updates about that she's turned up and she's doing all right.
What are you talking about?
She was. All I know is she's a US gymnast, African American US gymnast. I think she was top of the pops a few years ago.
Oh yeah, I think I remember her. Yep.
Really,
I think
really
she
good.
won gold. Yep.
I think she's one of the most decorated Olympians of all time.
Yep.
And then she came into the 2020 Olympics and she had some kind of issue with her. I think they call it twisties. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's mental or physical, but she couldn't perform. And so she pulled out of the Olympics and they're like, oh, mate, it's like Michael Phelps saying, I've forgotten how to swim.
I think there would be at the top of the sport, at the very top of the sport, the peak, if she felt like she couldn't give 100%, if she felt like she could give 99%, but she knows that another girl's 100% beats her 99%, and she feels like it's her sort of duty to not do that if someone else is better for the job, send them over, get the gold. then that's kind of how I would see that decision taking place in a natural way. If you felt like, at that level,
I think it's like
the 1% matters.
It does. But it's a bit like Matty Lloyd in his absolute prime goal kicking.
Sure.
Gets the yips.
Yeah.
And
all right. Well, what about a more fresh example? Gets COVID. You get COVID the week of the Olympics, and the coach says, "Look, you can do it still." Or do you want one of the other people to step in? You'd be crazy if you went out there. You'd be crazy.
Yeah, COVID's a physical illness. The twisties are, let's find out what they are.
Either way, mental is just important as the physical. You can't just say, oh, yeah, but you're physically okay, so get out there and untwist yourself. Get the twisties out. Have a chicken twisty.
Maybe it's better than doing a Sally Robbins and just giving up with 400 metres to go.
Yeah, it's quite honourable to give your spot for someone else.
Biles is a 6-time world all-round champion. 6-time world floor exercise champion. 4-time world balance beam champion.
Yes, she's done it all.
2-time world vault champion. 9 times US national all-round champion.
Yeah, she's done it all.
Wow, she has. Okay, and
so just reading that out, right? Just process what you just read. Now do you understand the pressure and the yips? I'd understand the yips. I
would say she's
got
so much experience that
the pressure's high as well.
So at the 2016...
All of those achievements that you just mentioned took a lot of hard work, fucking grinding to death, right? If you're not burnt out and you're going to your 3rd Olympics, you're not human. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's a long time to be at the peak of the sport, 12 years.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I'm just trying to get my head around it.
Mentally, physically, kind of irrelevant, because if you're not fucked by doing all that, you're a confusing person.
Yeah, well, you just don't hear about this very often. So it's a very interesting case. So at the 2016 Summer Olympics in Rio, she won individual gold medals in the all-round, the vault, the floor, bronze on the balance beam, and gold as part of the US team dubbed the Final Five.
That bronze must have been disappointing. Yep.
At the 2020 Summer Olympics in Tokyo, where she was favoured to win at least 4 of the 6 available gold medals, she withdrew from most of the competition due to the twisties, a temporal loss of air awareness while performing twisting elements. Right.
So it's something that you would develop, the notion of, if you said to me, do a backflip, you know what I mean? And I had a trampoline and I practiced all day, maybe I could do a backflip, right? But then if you're like, do 3 backflips with a little twisty at the end, it's that judgment of how long you're in the air so that you know you've got enough time to land it or what you have to do. So it sounds like it's psychological, maybe a touch physical, because if you have a twinge in your leg or something and it's affecting the way you spring off the deck, then you don't have the same airtime control that you used to have, and all of a sudden you got these problems. That makes sense.
Could almost be like an inner ear balance issue.
Absolutely. It could be something like that. It could be water.
But when you click, so twisties is a hyperlink, right? So I click twisties and it's taken me to the Wikipedia page that's headed yips.
Yeah, okay.
In sports, the yips are a sudden and unexplained loss of the ability to execute certain skills in experienced athletes. Well, that fits perfectly.
Yep. And it could be like we said before, like if you were sick, it might not be COVID. Let's take that out of the equation. But if you're sick, it could affect other parts of your preparation and things like that can give you these yips.
Have you ever had the yips?
Almost certainly. I would say, but I'd have to try and contextualize it by saying that I was doing something that I'm comfortable doing and just couldn't that day. Perhaps, yeah, I think maybe when I was driving, like early in my driving life.
I've never been good at kicking goals, so I just think that I permanently have the yips.
You might have been adept in negative speak in regards to kicking goals.
Maybe
You
it
might have been
wasn't.
really good at talking yourself into thinking you couldn't kick goals. The
I don't
problem
think
is you'll change the thing once. You'll
Yeah.
wear red undies, you'll kick a goal, and then you'll think it was the undies and not your preparation, not your hard work.
Take my pants right off. Next thing you know, I'm kicking goals with no pants on.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's what happens. That's how people develop these dumb sporting habits.
Oh, there'll be some sweet superstitions amongst all the athletes there. I'd love to know what the best ones are.
You would imagine it's a lot less than previous years, only because, right, the idea of superstition is something that surely is on the decline. Superstitious thinking would not be popular among the youth of today, in that it's really easy to disprove superstition. And here's my challenge to everybody. Go smash a mirror, go walk under a ladder, go punch a whatever and stare at a black cat for a little while. And I promise you that, well, don't promise, but
hey, no.
the problem is that if something bad did happen, you will attribute it to the black cat.
That's confirmation bias, which we know is a thing that you do.
No, but for example, you could fuck up. You could say something really dumb or do something really dumb, and all of a sudden you're rationalizing it by saying, oh, that was the black cat, or that was the broken mirror from 5 years ago that I've still got 2 years owing on, instead of the acknowledgement that you fucked up, said it's not the mirror, it's not the cat.
It's not the mirror.
It's not the fucking ladder. Walk under a ladder. Go walk under it 10 times, because that should be 70 years of bad luck, guaranteeing yourself bad luck in perpetuity. Unless we discover living forever, in which case you'll have to walk under it a few more fucking times. But
okay, so
don't give power to that which has not. Has always been my advice.
That's the problem. But every time something bad happens to you now, you will attribute it to the ladder. But that's just the mental game you're playing.
I won't.
Not you. Whoever is superstitious about the ladder. So they stub their toe and they'll be like, "Fuck! I wish I didn't walk under that ladder."
I actually one day I was distracted. I was carrying a mirror. I was distracted by a black cat, and we smashed into a ladder, and the mirror broke, and I fell forwards under the ladder.
Good Lord.
I got the trifecta just in one hit.
Yeah, did
just
your dick
broke
fall
a mirror
off?
Straight away.
Yeah.
Straight away, the dick fell off.
I would have thought so, yeah.
Yeah, and I said, well, this is probably due to my, poor hygiene or something. I didn't blame the ladder and the black cat and the mirror. But I should have.
You should have. So if that happened to you, right, and then you impregnated your wife and you found out you had triplets.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? Is that because you walked under the ladder? Like, is that a bad thing, or a triplet's a good thing? I can't really figure it out.
Well, it depends on how you want to look at it. You could look at them as a gift from above
it's a short-term,
and be very happy.
Pain.
Or you could look at it as, well, you did 3 bad luck things, so here's 1, 2, and 3. There's the black cat. So I'll name it 1 black cat. I'll call 1 ladder. And I'll call 1 mirror.
3 devil children.
Possibly, but no, it's all nature and nurture, man. I'll turn them around.
Okay, so I've got a thing up, and it's the 10 most superstitious athletes, not of all time, just 10 most superstitious athletes. Number 10, I'm just going to run through a couple. Jordan, MJ.
What? Michael Jordan. Okay.
MJ.
An Olympian. Yep.
All the things he's done, blah, blah. Jordan led UNC. This must have been University of North Carolina, to the NCAA championships in 1982 and believed the mesh marvels. I'm just seeing if they explained that earlier. Okay, it's something to do with his shorts. Anyway, the mesh marvels are his shorts. He thought the mesh marvels brought him luck. In order to cover his lucky pair, Jordan began wearing longer shorts, which inspired a trend in the NBA. So they're putting down long basketball shorts.
He's wearing shorts under his shorts. That's why he wore long ones, to cover the shorts of the other ones. That's what they're saying. Right, he was wearing 2 pairs of shorts.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, because he was superstitious. It's not a very Olympic story. It's a bit off. It's a bit off theme.
Yeah, I don't know if any of these guys are going to be Olympic athletes. It looks like they're just. Oh, here we go. Bjorn Borg, the tennis player. I need more of a summary. These are too long for me. Serena.
I like all the superstitions that are just laziness, just disguised as superstition. Like, I never wash my undies. Yeah. Okay. You just don't like to do washing. That's fine. I understand. That's cool. Just say that.
I'm just going to take you to the top 4, okay?
Yeah,
So I can't bother reading them all. So there's a guy called Patrick Roy.
Yeah, what did he do?
He's perhaps the greatest goaltender in the history of NHL.
Not allowed to do that. Oh, goaltending is allowed in NHL.
Or he's the goalie. He's
yeah,
the
but
goalie.
if you were the best goaltender in NBA, that's not a good thing. Anyway,
so
go on.
He's Goldberg. He's a firm believer in the power of superstition. Before every game, I hate it when they do this, the former Montreal Canadian would skate backwards towards the net before turning around at the last second.
Wow, that is a cool move.
Well, he believed it made the goal shrink.
Gave him spiritual powers. Yes.
During
He's a fucking idiot. Yep, go on.
He would convert.
Unless you finish this story with, and they never, ever lost a game nor concede a goal ever. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to look up his fucking record.
He's
see a whole bunch
the
of
greatest
losses.
goaltender in the history of the NHL.
For fuck's sake. Okay.
During
Yeah,
the
fair
game,
enough.
he would converse with the posts, thanking them.
Shut up. Oh, shut up.
Thanking them when a puck was deflected and often touching
this
them.
guy needs to chill out, man.
This almost spiritual relationship with his goal earned him the nickname St. Patrick and an unprecedented 3 Conn Smythe trophies.
Is that good, is it?
I think so.
I would talk to the posts as well at that point. I've given up. My logic makes no sense. This guy's the man. So do you think he would justify it with the nights that he lost? You know, when you lose, does he go, I know why we lost, guys? And they go, why? What happened? He goes, me and the goals, we just weren't really talking much tonight. I didn't really get any conversation off. They were being very offhandish with me. I said, thank you a couple of times. They didn't even respond. I'm having a real hard time with these goals. They didn't shrink. When I did my little skatey thing at the start, I did my little backward skate thing and I did the swoosh around at the last second. They're meant to shrink a bit and they didn't tonight, guys. So I'm not saying it was all that, but I think we can put at least 90-odd% blame on the goals themselves. They're just too wide and they weren't fucking talking. Not a chatty goal at all tonight.
The Conn Smythe trophy is awarded annually to the MVP of his team during the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs.
So he's winning MVPs as the goalie.
That's the Norm Smith. Yeah.
It's a defender winning the Norm Smith.
And it says an unprecedented 3 Conn Smith. So he may be the GOAT.
He's the GOAT.
Of
right.
Conn Smith. They
he's
need
a
to rename
superstitious
it
nightmare.
the Patrick Roy.
And he's a superstitious nightmare, so that will encourage more people to be superstitious if he's such a great champion. What we need is someone to knock him off who says, you know, to become the greatest and to have no superstition. What we should be doing, and this would require a whole bunch of research, is find the best people who have ever played. We're talking about Jordan. We already know he's superstitious. We're talking about this goaltender who is one of the greatest and apparently quite superstitious. If Tiger Woods is superstitious and fucking who's the best at other stuff? If you know, Roger Federer and Nadal and stuff, they're all superstitious idiots or they just don't like boat rides. If they're all superstitious at the top, it's giving something. It's giving 1%. It has to be. It's all mind games. They're playing tricks on themselves. We know it. They don't. We know that they're tricking themselves into good luck. That's what they want. Yeah. They're tricking themselves into good luck. They're trying to bring in positive energy. And I get that. That would probably work. You just don't have to attach the bullshit to it.
No, you do. You have to
that's what they feel
something.
Like they need to do. No, but come on, man.
They can't just, they have to attach their beliefs to something.
If I was their coach,
yeah.
I would take their unwashed undies off them and I would give them a clean pair of underpants and I say, go out there and play your normal game tonight, please. And then once they come back and they go, that was pretty normal. And we actually won. And the goals I didn't have to shrink the goals. I didn't have to do any of that shit. And you're like, yeah, man. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
When I was traveling in Europe in 2009 with the guys, I had this pair of underwear that I'd like pick up in. And they were called I called them my Brians because they had Brian from Family Guy, the dog,
right,
on them.
Which is just a good talking point, really.
I guess it was, but I wasn't really. I never told anyone I was wearing this underwear.
No.
But they were super lucky, and the guys all knew it. They were like, man, the Brian underwear is amazing. Yeah, they didn't ask me to wear them or anything, but they knew that when I wore those underwear, I meant business. And then one night I got too drunk. I was in Italy on a pub crawl, and I was sitting on the toilet with my head in my hands, really drunk, trying to do a poo or something. I don't know. I was not really with it. And a quick little vom came out before I could even react. Maybe I was telling myself, I'm not going to vomit, and it just came on so quickly. And this powerful little pocket of vomit went straight down into my Brian underwear that were between my legs into the crotch. Vomit went straight in the crotch.
Straight in there.
And it was really quite perfect. At least I was really drunk. So I thought that in my mind it was perfectly encapsulated so I could easily actually take my legs out of the underwear and my jeans and I could put the underwear in the corner of the vomit-filled underwear in the corner of the toilet and just free ball with my pants.
What a lovely story.
And so I left and I went outside back into the pub with the guys and I was like, man, I've not feeling so hot or whatever. I've vomited in my underwear. And they were like, What do you mean? I was like, I've taken the underwear off there in the toilet. And they're like, you can't leave the Brian underwear in this toilet in Italy.
No, it's too powerful.
Rome.
It's like the One Ring.
It could fall into the wrong hands.
Or fall into the wrong hands.
So I went back in there. And
no, you didn't.
Fished them out. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not only that, I was waiting for a bus next to the Trevi fountain. I needed to wash my underwear.
Yeah, you did it.
I did it.
So are you telling me?
This increased the magical properties of the underwear, though.
Oh my God! So these are the famed underwear washed at the fountain in Italy. What's it called again? It's quite a famous fountain. I'm sure it's quite historical in nature, and you should probably learn the history of it.
Because of
all the histories, we can add a new history, which is the tale of the vomit-filled underpants. And it will go down in the annals of time, much like the other shit that happened in Rome. History shouldn't be prejudiced to kings and queens and whatnot. History belongs to everybody. So,
but I felt attached. Like I have this piece of me that is now attached to this really well-known historical monument. So the Trevi Fountain is an 18th century fountain, the Trevi district in Rome, Italy, designed by whoever, blah, blah, blah. Why is it cool? Give me some history about it. Everyone you throw a coin over the back of your head
or your undies.
Anyway, it's got all these, it's in pop culture. There's all this stuff. It's a beautiful fountain.
Like anyone that's,
and now,
if you look in the bottom right-hand corner I think it's A World Is Not Enough or something. It's one of the James Bond movies. You can see Nate's underwear is in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. You can just spot it there in the fountain, still with a bit of vom in there.
I'm not the only one that has underwear that is magical.
I'm sure people have got incredible stories from the fountain as well, much like yours. I'm sure there's 1,000 stories like yours.
No one washed their underwear in it.
No, they could have. I'm saying that is a thing that could have happened. To think you were the first person to do it, that's quite – obviously that's not true. But, you're one of the very few who can say that they have done it.
Yeah. It's actually one of my proudest moments. So number 3 on the list, Jason Giambi.
Okay.
While he's a baseballer, he's a hitter. While his hitting power has cooled in recent years, Colorado Rocky Jason Giambi was a pitcher's worst nightmare in his prime. But even in his heyday, the Giambino, they must call him Giambino.
Oh, yeah. So that's because the Babe Ruth was called, the Great Bambino?
Right, Giambino. He was prone to slumps. His solution for turning things around? A golden thong.
What does that mean? Is that thong in the Australian sense or thong in the sexy sense?
That's what I thought. Whenever this 6'3" batsman found himself in a funk, he'd slip his 240-pound frame into a tiny pair of butt floss before playing. Yep. More often than not, Giambi's weird superstition actually worked.
No, it didn't.
That's what
That's
they're
my
saying.
point.
In fact,
but my point is,
you need data.
It's your preparation. It's your preparation. It's throwing all those years of no. Basically, what he's saying is right. Is like if you want to hit a home run, mate, don't go to baseball school. Don't join a team. Don't even try out for the majors. Just pop this in your ass crack, right? And I'll pop these pants on you and just start swinging. And I promise you, they're just all home runs. He's giving it too much credit, which is the whole point.
He's
of
not.
This.
This is why you're not an all-star baseball player. This is why you're not winning the dunk contest, man. His bikini bottoms became so well thought of. The five-time all-star team. The five-time all-star teammates would often borrow them to break out of their own slumps.
Get fucked, you idiots. So once you break out, then you don't need them anymore? Is that the idea? So if you're fine, if you're going fine, you just don't even wear them. You would wear them just in case, wouldn't you?
They're powerful. You can't just be wearing the golden butt floss all the time because the power is going to be overwhelming.
Fair enough.
Do you not know how this works?
Sort of like antibiotics, I guess.
You use it sporadically.
I don't like that.
When you need it.
That's not proper superstition. Proper superstition is every game I put on a red piece of paint over my eye, otherwise we lose. I just know we're going to lose.
How often do you wear the One Ring? You don't wear the One Ring all the time. So it's too powerful. It's overwhelming. You put the One Ring on when you need it.
Okay.
Number 2 on the list.
Frodo Baggins.
He's someone you know.
Oh.
He's someone you know well. I'd like to know what you think his superstition is. It's Lyota Machida.
Okay, so he's a UFC fighter from the heyday, is what I would call it. Early UFC, he became the light heavyweight champion. He was known for his elusive style. He was very handy on the feet, a karate background. He would keep people at range and kick them in the chest and face until they didn't want to play anymore. And back then, there was such a big skill difference in the best versus the second best. You know what I mean? There was this huge gap between the guys like Anderson Silva and some of the people that they fed him to back in the early to mid 2000s, 2010s. So Machida, very good champion, very solid, definitely did a lot of prep, did a lot of jiu-jitsu, did a lot of karate, Brazilian.
He needed some superstition in his life.
Yeah, okay. So what would his be? I think it's going to be something to do with the ring. I think it's going to be something to do with when he enters the ring or something like that.
I've heard about this now that I'm reading it. So he picked this up from his father. Okay. And I know Joe Rogan started doing this.
Classic.
Based on Lyota Machida. A discussion with Lyota Machida.
Interesting.
You're not even going to believe me when I tell you.
I will.
He drinks his own urine.
No, he doesn't.
It's a natural medicine that cleanses his body. While it sounds disgusting, Machida may be onto something. The dragon has yet to lose a round in his professional mixed martial arts career. When was this written?
Yeah, no, that was written a long time ago. I've seen him get starched.
Yeah, so he got to 16-0, but then he stopped drinking his urine.
Maybe he stopped drinking his piss, yeah. Okay, so again, I think this is exactly the same as the guy who doesn't wash his undies because he thinks it brings him good luck. This is laziness.
This is
masked
different.
As superstition. No, listen. Hear me out.
Okay, all right.
The fridge is over there, but my piss is right here. It's laziness again. He's just pissing straight into a cup and he's gone, where am I going to put this? Where am I going to put this? Up, straight down the guzzler. It's. I think I read somewhere or I saw it in Dodgeball that it's okay to drink piss.
It's not lazy because I think you have to piss in a glass, then put it in the fridge and you drink it later.
Oh, it's cold piss.
So you actually have to do 2 actions. You're being lazy.
I mean, if you had told me you have to drink.
You're being lazy.
No, but if you no, I don't drink my own piss at all. I go to the toilet, which is the step he forgot.
That's lazy.
No, that's right. That's correct.
That is lazy.
That requires me to stand up. I got to walk.
But you
I got to get up.
Now, what you need to do is you need to piss in a glass.
No, I don't. I just piss in the toilet and flush it. I don't drink my own piss.
Then you have to take the extra step of putting it in the fridge. And then when you want to drink it, you're not just pissing up in the air and into your mouth like a feral animal. You're pissing in a glass and drinking it like a cultured Parisian.
Yeah. So if it's the difference between like glass, can, and bottle, now I'm going to break it down for you. Because if you asked me to drink a glass of piss, right, and you said you have to do this, but you get to pick how it's prepared, I'm going glass with ice. And
Lots
cold
of ice.
and
Yeah.
cold and
Yeah, you're
cold,
onto it, yeah.
cold piss.
That's the smartest thing you've said all day.
Freezing cold piss, right?
Yeah.
Then that would be the bottle category. If we're talking about Coca-Cola, that's your bottle. That's the best.
I'm not drinking
it
out of a narrow-necked vessel though. I'm drinking out of a pint glass.
Yeah. Then you've got the next level, which is room temperature warm piss, right? Warm piss. That's your can. You know, you don't want that. That's the least preferable way to consume this particular beverage. Would you agree? You don't want to have it warm.
No.
And only slightly better than the warm piss in the glass is the fountain that we spoke about earlier, where you're sort of pissing into your own mouth. That rates above a glass of warm piss to me. That's got to be better. Just because the air time will cool it down a little bit. The air time, the fact that it's in the air for a little while will just generate a bit of coolness to it.
Although
just
I don't want body temperature piss, or room temperature piss, but I'll take it as like a hot tea.
So boil it a bit.
Because I think I would be confused.
I don't think we're allowed to boil it though, because we need all that good stuff in it.
Oh, you don't want to denature the proteins, do you?
So you would have to get it to, close to, but not boiling. But anyway, that's piss.
I wonder if Lyota Machida could actually market his piss in a can.
Yeah, probably.
But he wouldn't be able to produce enough, though.
That's the other thing that we're thinking about. We're thinking of our piss, not this guy who's performing at the peak of his career piss.
Yeah,
it's got to be good. It's got to be good piss. Yeah, better than our piss. Number one, let's have it.
The only problem I have with everything you've said, everything made a lot of sense then. Actually,
thanks.
Cold piss, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This is a physical thing you're taking on. So when you're wearing golden underwear, that's unlikely to improve your performance. It's all mental, because I don't think that the way your butt is moving in your pants, maybe there's less friction.
I think it's a reminder that you're in a slunk, because that's why you're wearing them. It's the reminder that, hey man, get your fucking act together. Remember, we're wearing the fucking gold G-string today. Hit a fucking home run tonight, you idiot. Or at least bat above 250, please.
So
that sort of thing.
Medicine is something that you have to ingest. I think we agree. It's something you take on board, and there's nutrients exchanged.
Sure.
Now, drinking your own piss, there is a component of you could be absorbing something from your piss. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. And if you don't have any water on hand, it's probably a good option.
Yeah. And I would have thought once you piss it out of your body, you've kind of taken the nutrients you want from that at that point.
That's what I would have thought. That's what I thought waste was.
But I'm not a UFC champion, so...
No, you're not.
Okay, number one. Never heard of him. Turk Wendell.
Mm-hmm.
He was a New York Mets reliever.
So he's a pitcher. Yep, that means a pitcher.
Yes, he was a full-blown maniac when it came to superstition.
Great.
A short list of the right-hander's many eccentricities included always leaping over the baselines when walking to the mound, chewing black licorice while pitching.
That's not a fucking superstition, bro. That's just something you like doing.
And brushing his teeth between innings.
Okay, that's weird, dude. That's super weird, dude. That's super weird, bro. He's probably just as a result of all the chewing tobacco or whatever. He's like, the licorice. I need to get rid of some of this licorice. What a fucking weirdo.
He's not done yet. He wears a necklace decorated with sharp teeth of wild animals he's hunted and killed.
Oh, my God. That's grim. I never liked the bling in baseball. Because it's like, basketball, they can't wear too much bling. But in baseball, dudes rock like big chains and shit because I don't know why. They'll be running the bases and this fucking gold chain's hitting him in the face.
In 2000, he asked for his contract to be $9,999,999.99 in honor of his uniform number. What do you think it was?
Shit, man. Yeah, sure. It was. Well, I think it was. What was it again? 999,000, wasn't it?
Well, his uniform number was 99.
Oh no, I was way off. I thought it was the full amount. Because it would be a real shame for the guy on the team who's like number 6 or something and goes, yeah, just $6 will do me. Thanks very much. $6, please. Yeah, no, I just want 9,999,999 just because of the number. And they're like, yeah, bro, but we were going to pay you 7. Well, what about the number? I'm 99. It's got to be a 9.
I came across something that I thought would interest you.
Are we done with him?
It's an athlete. Yeah, I think I'm done with him. He wasn't actually as crazy as I thought he would be. I mean, I reckon drinking your own piss tops eating licorice and asking for a contract with lots of 9s in it.
Yeah, that's not superstition. That's greed.
But in the UFC vein,
yeah, walk under a ladder, people. Yep.
Jon Jones.
What about him?
Well, they have. I don't know if they've done it yet or if it's just being implemented soon, but they've changed the rule about 12 to 6 elbows.
They have changed the rule about 12 to 6 elbows, and it famously does represent the only loss on Jon Jones' record besides testing positive for belosterone or whatever the fuck they did back in the day. He got a no contest for that. Man, but his only loss came from a fight he had with a deaf Olympian named Matt Hamill, who's deaf, and he got on top of him, full mount, which you'd never see nowadays. I talk about this every time I watch a live event with my friends. You never see full mount anymore.
Why is that?
Ever.
What's going on?
Because the game's changed. If you get if someone gets full mount, okay, so back in the day when you were watching it, even before that, all of the time before that, full mount was a bit like checkmate.
Yeah,
it was.
Sentence.
I can grab you and get you in an arm triangle and choke you out from here, or I can rain down punches.
Yeah,
I can rain down punches till you're unconscious, and then I can feed you my piss.
Yes.
So that was a dominant position for so many years. Basically, someone was in what people would try to do is they'd take you down. They're in full guard. They'll try and advance to half guard. Then they'll advance to side control. Then they'll advance to full mount. And now they start delivering the blows, right? Nowadays, you see everybody fight from half guard or guard. All right?
Is it because they're defending the top mount better?
The defense for top mount is apparently quite easy to reverse these days with the current techniques that people are offering. Unless it is your game. Like if you're the best mount specialist in the world, you can probably just go do it to everybody still, like you could before. But it's kind of dead, which is a bit sad because it was a bit of a cool thing that used to happen a lot. Anyway, I think it's easy to just reverse. If you imagine the position and you reverse it, you're in their full guard. So if he's on top of you in mount and you can roll, you're in his full guard now.
Yeah.
So the legs go the other side. Yeah. So anyway, it doesn't matter. So why are we talking about that? Because you were talking about Jon Jones.
Yeah, Jon. Yeah.
So Jon Jones got full mount on Matt Hamill and started raining these elbows down 12 to 6, which means that I guess the elbow's coming straight down 90 degrees. And as soon as Jon Jones lands about 3 of these to Matt Hamill's now rearranged face, the ref says, stop. Those are 12 to 6. And they stand up Jon and tell him to go to his corner. And they're trying to communicate to Matt that, are you okay to continue? You know, are you all right? Do you want to continue? And he's going like I don't know what's going on because he actually can't. First of all, he can't hear what's going on. Second of all,
he's
just got
been elbowed several times from Jon Jones.
So he is, and I'm pretty sure this is the story. I'm pretty sure he thought the fight was been called over. So Matt's like, whatever, done. And they're like, no, he's done. He's fucking done.
Yeah, I see.
So they wave it off. And now instead of the continuing fight, we have Matt Hamill being announced the winner and then them interviewing him, like Joe Rogan interviews him and says like, man, like not the way you want to get it done, but well done sort of thing. And he's like, I'm just sorry to all my fans. Like he thought he lost in that moment. He still thought he lost the fight because you don't usually win a fight by getting the shit beaten out of you. That's just the way that it usually works.
And if you do something wrong, a illegal infringement, unless they can't continue to fight.
That's what's happened here.
Okay. But you normally get a warning, don't you? Like you normally
if you kick someone in the balls and they can't continue fighting, they'll call that a no contest.
If you kick them in the balls and they continue fighting, then
if you kick them in the balls 3 times and then they
can deduct the point, can't
continue. Well, they would just stick you probably.
It's a weird situation because it is. I mean, Jon Jones, I know he's got some question marks with substance abuse and stuff like that. But let's take that out. That's not in our control. I'll let the authorities deal with that.
Sure.
Let's just deal with his actual record and what he's done.
Oh, okay. So you're talking as a mixed martial artist?
Incredible, right?
No one's more decorated. No
one's more decorated. Yeah.
Correct.
Wow. So I hear someone else just took the heavyweight. There's someone defended the heavyweight interim
It's
title.
the interim belt. Yeah, Aspinall.
Yeah, I looked
Tom
at a couple
Aspinall.
of his
He's a British guy.
Yeah.
He
looks
he'll
dangerous.
fight Jon Jones. He'll fight Jon Jones.
Will Jon Jones fight?
I think any
What's Jon Jones
heavyweight
doing?
is dangerous because Jon Jones is a natural light heavyweight. So any heavyweight's dangerous.
And what's Jon Jones doing at the moment? I think because he pulled out of the last fight through injury, I think.
Don't know. I don't know what the latest is. I think that they'd be looking to set that up in 3 or 4 months' time because that's usually what they'll try and do with the heavyweight title. Yeah. Unless they've set it up for 6 months from now and they said to Tom, win on the weekend, you're the interim champ, you fight Jon Jones in 6 months, take your time, have some money. Don't know. The point is, Jon Jones's record is sort of tarnished by that Hamill loss.
Yeah.
I heard people calling for that to be like expunged from his record.
I think John's calling for that. Yeah.
What a fucking joke, man. What a fucking joke. So like if you competed in, say, like the running, right? The running, and you win under circumstances that, you lose, and then 3 years later they decide that the shoes that everyone else were wearing were not good, but that was the rules that were enforced at the time. Get fucked, John.
Yeah.
Like, shut the fuck up.
I mean, there was definitely some weird circumstances around that fight.
You've acknowledged that the rule's dumb. The rule is dumb. And I've explained this before, but the reason that 12 to 6 elbows were illegal is because the Nevada State Athletic Commission apparently got shown a video of a guy breaking an ice block with a 12 to 6 elbow, and they went, oh, no, that's too dangerous.
Can't have that.
That's too dangerous. Get that same bloke to fucking knee a fucking ice block,
or just
in
a
the
head
face.
kick.
That it was hilarious. So the fact that this is allowed, and what they ended up finding is the guys were generating so much power with the swinging elbow.
Jon Jones' elbows are so brutal anyway. 12 to 6 is probably like his jab.
Yeah, Jon Jones, I don't like him as a fighter. I think he is the most decorated fighter. He's obviously is in the GOAT conversation. It's just keep your fingers in your gloves and we're cool. And it's not like I'm picking DC or something, because DC's like, I don't like DC even more because I think he's a cheat as well. And only recently in the last couple of years, he was on a podcast. He actually admitted that when he weighed in that day against Anthony Rumble Johnson, that he totally fucked the system, and, good on me for winning, for beating the system. I'm like, nah, man, you're a jerk. Like, your title shouldn't even been on the line that day.
Is that the only reason he's a cheater?
Well, like, he'd defend it by saying, oh, it's an old wrestling trick. And I'm like, fuck your wrestling tricks. This is the peak of the sport, man. Like, you can't do your wrestling tricks. You never could. You couldn't do them back then, bro.
In a way, I don't condone that. I think it's terrible. But I was
a big Rumble fan at the time, man. I was a big Rumble fan at the time. I watched the weigh-ins. I was disgusted.
I don't blame DC for trying something and trying to get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
Someone needed to pull him up. Someone, like an authority figure there.
They looked away.
I know, but that's my point. If they're going to allow him to do it, I'm
did.
like, totally. Exactly. I'm like, I don't think it's on him. It's not a good thing. It's not a good look. But I'm saying people try to get edges in a lot of ways. Yeah.
I disagree. I think you are the agent of your own morality. He made the decision to go cheat, which put them in a very difficult position because they want the fight to happen. They do.
Yeah, but if
they're on your side, they want the fight to happen.
Someone needs to enforce the rules.
Yeah, then they should have got him. He shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have been his title up for grabs that day. It should have been Rumble's to win. And you know what's funny is Rumble got asked about it at the next day at like the press conference. He didn't give a shit. He did not give a shit that people were talking about DC potentially cheating at the weigh-ins.
Yeah,
he didn't care. Yeah. He'd moved on. I haven't. You know what's happened in that time? A lot of stuff has happened in the world since that time. And also something that happened is Rumble's dead. Like, Anthony Rumble Johnson died a young man. He's like 46.
Oh, that's
right. So in that
Yeah.
time where I still haven't gotten over DC doing this, which is 8 years later, he's died and he was over it the next day. I'm still dealing with it.
What happened to Rumble?
I think
we talked about it on the podcast.
I believe he had heart problems. I don't think we did talk about it. It happened so long ago.
2022. So we're podcasting. I thought we mentioned it.
We were podcasting? Okay, I think we did mention it then. But how did he die?
Died at 38.
form of cancer known as non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and hemophagotic lymphohistiocytis and autoimmune disease. He died of organ failure in November 2022, and he was 38 years old, man.
That's crazy. That's
fucking nutty.
devastating. It's devastating.
And I loved his fighting career. I watched it with great interest because this is a guy, and I've said it before, who fought at welterweight. Yeah, he fought at light heavyweight.
Wow.
Yeah? He fought at heavyweight. Yeah,
wow.
This guy cut from 210-ish down to 170 on the reg. There's a fight, and I would have brought it up when we first spoke about it. Just type this into Google. Type in Anthony Joshua versus Josh Koscheck. It's a fight that happened in the mid-2000s-ish, and in that you can really see the size difference because Koscheck is sort of a welterweight who is actually a welterweight. He would still cut weight, but he would still cut weight, but not as much as Rumble was.
Anthony Joshua.
Anthony Johnson. Anthony Joshua was a
That's
boxer.
what I thought, yeah.
No.
I was like,
you want Rumble versus Josh Koscheck. Yeah, and Koscheck actually won that fight, so it didn't work. So size isn't everything, I guess, but...
Yeah, okay.
All right, I've got something better for you. Just have a watch of my stream here. I've got it here.
Yeah.
And I can show you a few things here because it's a full fucking page of them. All right, so you've got at the very top right, you've got 170.
Wow.
That's what he looked like at 170, 185, 205, and 230. So he fought at heavyweight, not even in the above 205 sort of business. He went for 230.
How can a man like that? He is cut out of stone. How can he die of a physical ailment?
Statue. Oh, isn't that the craziest thing ever?
He looks like the fittest man I've ever seen in my life.
Uh-huh.
I mean, when he's 170, he's a little bit, No,
bony. That's him on fight day. That's 170. Okay. That's 170 Rumble on fight day. He is a statue. And he got choked out by Koscheck, which was quite sad.
He was probably exhausted.
That's him there after the weight cut. Yeah. You can definitely see he's drained there, but he just puts that straight back on.
But you can't do a full recovery, can you, in that 24-hour period?
He's literally operating with like zero water in his body right there. And he will bulk back 15 to 20 pounds on top of that. It's nuts.
I know we don't have long, so just in the last couple of minutes, I just want to mention real quick, I went to the Perth Concert Hall last Saturday. So I didn't talk about it last week because we had so much going on that I forgot about it. But I wanted to see the West Australian Symphony Orchestra perform, but I accidentally bought a ticket to the WA Charity Orchestra because they were doing this thing called Planets. And it sounded awesome, like just to fry it up. I was like, man, this is my fucking thing. Yeah, I don't need to know anymore. I'm just buying tickets.
Book the tickets.
Book the tickets. But I saw 160 starving artists because they're unpaid musicians that are in the WA Charity Orchestra. And they were amazing. They were so good. I mean, they're great. Yeah. I think they're almost like, I think it's the waffle. The waffle of the symphony
they're
orchestra.
Waiting for the call up a bit. And maybe they're just artists with a willingness to be charitable, because I'd say the charity orchestra raises money for charities.
Yes, and also for equipment for them to be able to continue to perform.
Fantastic.
Yeah. But, the Planets is this thing written in World War I by this guy called Gustav Holster, who was clearly procrastinating big time because he started in like 1914 and finished and presented it before World War I ended. So, which is interesting. But it was what I didn't know is I could tell when I was listening to it, it was giving me Star Wars vibes, massive Star Wars vibes. So I was Googling about it. The Star Wars, John Williams used the planets as inspiration for Star Wars.
Wow.
Lucas was going to use the planets soundtrack in Star Wars because he was like, this is perfect. This is
perfect. Yeah.
But I think they must have got John Williams involved or something. It's really, you should listen to some.
Yeah. When they shot Star Wars, they did a test screening of the movie to show people, to say, what do you think? It was George Lucas's kind of like, hey, what do you guys reckon? Yeah. And Spielberg was there and he was like, not very good, bro. And every bit where you saw cool special effects in Star Wars A New Hope, like the 1977 one, every cool bit that you saw in that movie with the lasers coming out and all the spaceships flying, that was all replaced with just World War II stock footage because they hadn't shot any of that special effects stuff yet. So can you just imagine Star Wars with all the cool shit ripped out and just sort of like, you just got to use your imagination in all the war bits. You'd be like, yeah, he shot at someone, it blows up. But then it would just cut back to Luke and he's like, oh, come on, Uncle Owen, I want to go to bloody get some power converters. And you're like, dude, this movie's pretty fucking shit, dude. Like, to be perfectly honest. And then when you get to the cinema and, Steven Spielberg would have saw the lightsaber fire up and gone, oh, I think you've actually got something here. And then John Williams' soundtrack and the editing and the special effects were groundbreaking. It all just worked together. It's kind of like, I've just had this analogy in my head. I think Star Wars are very similar to the Red Hot Chili Peppers. George Lucas is Anthony Kiedis, and he could be the worst instrument in the band. But you've got Flea, the CGI. Of all time. You've got the drummers, the editors.
Epic.
You've got these guys behind you like John Williams and Ben Burt doing sound. You basically can't lose with the combination. Yeah. You're Anthony Kiedis out the front going, oh, what I want, I'm going to give it to your mama. And everyone's going, yeah, man, it's fucking.
It's like Jerry Seinfeld with the cast around him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he couldn't have done it by himself.
But each one of these songs in the planets is based on a planet in the solar system. So one of the songs is called Saturn, one of them is Jupiter, one of them is Mars, etc.
Fantastic. Cool. I will have a listen for sure. Yeah. That is all we've got time for, though. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for those top 10 Superstitious Pricks lists. That was beautiful. We'll be talking more Olympics next week, surely, because that's still going on. What else?
Yeah, Australia will fall from first to whatever.
It's like second or third to like maybe seventh. Let's do a prediction right now. I'm gonna say we're gonna finish seventh in the medal tally. That's easy.
I'm all in with you. Yep, seventh.
All right, seven it is. All right, we'll see you same time,
peace,
same place next week.